Good morning, sir. On this occasion, we would like to present our material entitled Transfer to the Field, which is part of the topic Geophysical Instrument Calibration. This presentation discusses how calibration of seismometers can still be carried out accurately even when the instruments are permanently installed in the field. Before starting the presentation, allow us to introduce our group members. This presentation is prepared by Group Instrumentation 3R, consisting of Indra Pona Dewantara, Lam Torang Erlando Simbolon, Muhammad Dayan Febrian, Samuel Brema Siombing, and Zahra Aulia. Each member will explain their assigned section sequentially. In this presentation, we will discuss several main points. First, we will introduce the concept of transfer to the field. Next, we will explain how SI standards can be brought directly to a seismic station. We will then discuss the requirement for reference seismometers, including stability, bandwidth, transportability, and orientation. These topics are important to ensure accurate calibration under field conditions. Transfers to the field. Introduction. Seismometer calibration is normally performed in a laboratory because the environment is stable and well controlled. However, in real monitoring system, many seismometers are installed permanently in the field and cannot be easily removed. Returning this instrument to the laboratory for recalibration is often impractical due to operational constraints, high cost, and potential risk. Therefore, a method is required to perform calibration directly at the station where the sensor is installed.
Challenge of field calibration and solution bringing SI to the field. Challenge. Field conditions are very different from laboratory environments. Several factors make direct laboratory calibration methods unsuitable, such as unstable and varying ground vibration, temperature and humidity fluctuations, limited accessibility to remote stations. These conditions make field calibration more complex and less controlled. And a solution is to maintain traceability to SI standards. The standard must be brought to the field instead of moving the sensor. This is achieved by using a reference seismometer that has been calibrated in the laboratory. The reference sensor is placed next to the sensor under test or SUT, so both record the same ground motion. By comparing their response, the accuracy and performance of SUT can be evaluated.
And then, purpose of transfer to the field. The key purpose of this method are: first, ensuring accurate performance of fields installed seismometer. Second, maintaining traceability to SI standard. And then, reducing risk and costs associated with removing sensor from station. And the last, allowing regular calibration of sensor that cannot be relocated. And then, how to get the SIs to a station. The first, on-site secondary calibration. Instead of bringing sensor to a laboratory, a reference sensor can be taken to the field for secondary on-site calibration. Because of the constraint described earlier, the SUT must remain installed and fully operational during the process. And then, use of ambient signal. Calibration can only rely on natural or man-made seismic signal, since no controlled laboratory excitation is available. This approach has been used in infrasound but not widely for seismic sensor. And the last, calibration procedure. A reference seismometer with traceable laboratory calibration is placed beside this SUT and connect to a similar data execution system to ensure comparable timing and delays. But sensors are then operate simultaneously for an extended period. The duration must be longer than laboratory calibration because ambient signal levels are often weak, noisy, or inconsistent. Only segments with usable signal quality can be applied for the calibration. And then requirement for reference seismometer. Reference seismometer used for on-site calibration must meet several key criteria to ensure accurate and traceable results. The first, long-term stability. The reference sensor must remain stable over time with minimal change in its characteristic between laboratory calibration cycles. Secondly, temperature stability. Because it is calibrated in a warm lab but used in cooler field environment, the reference should have very low temperature sensitivity, so temperature variation do not affect calibration result. And then sufficient bandwidth. Its frequency bandwidth must be equal to or with and that of the sensor under test or SUT. It must also be calibrated across the whole required frequency range to ensure accurate comparison. And then transportability. The reference must withstand transport to the field site, including export to temperature change, humidity, and mechanical shocks. And the last, orientation capability. The sensor must allow precise alignment with the SUT using tools such as alignment marks, orientation rods, or bubble levels. And then data analysis, Gabrielson method. Gabrielson method. The Gabrielson method is a field calibration technique for vibration sensor that is performed without using an artificial vibration source. In this test, two sensors are installed side by side or co-located, namely the reference sensor as a comparator and the sensor under test or SUT as the sensor being calibrated. The main assumption is that both sensors capture the same ground signal, namely ambient vibration or noise that occurs naturally in the environment. This method is ideal for sensors that have been permanently installed and are difficult to move to a laboratory. Analysis process and transfer function. In the analysis process, the time signal from both sensors are converted to the frequency domain using spectrum transformation. Next, the transfer function or TF is calculated, which is the ratio of the SUT response to the reference sensor response. The transfer function shows the difference in sensor sensitivity at each frequency. If the TF value is close to 1, it means that the SUT has comparable performance to the reference sensor. The TF result is the basis for assessing whether the sensor being tested is still accurate or requires a calibration correction factor. And then magnitude square coherence or MSG function. To ensure the quality of the data used in TF calculation, validation is performed using magnitude square coherence or MSG. MSG is used to check whether both sensors are actually measuring the same vibration source. MSG higher data is highly valid and can be used. Low MSG frequency is discarded because it contains noise and is not coherent. With MSG, only reliable frequencies are used in the analysis, so that the calibration results are more accurate and not based in environmental noise. And then advantage. The calibration method has several significant advantages, namely that it does not require an artificial vibration source, making it more cost-effective and easier to implement in the field. In addition, this method utilizes actual operating conditions, thereby providing realistic sensor response characteristics. The calibration method is considered quite practical and efficient for calibrating seismic sensor in the field. The use of transfer function and MSG ensure that the data used is valid, resulting in accurate and reliable calibration results.
Thank you for your attention. Through this presentation, we have highlighted the fundamental requirement of reference seismometer, emphasizing their role as the backbone of reliable seismic monitoring. Long-term stability, temperature stability, adequate bandwidth, task portability, and correct orientation are not merely technical specifications, but essential conditions that ensure consistency and comparability of seismic data over time. When these requirements are properly implemented, reference seismometers are able to support high-quality observation across different stations and seismic networks. Beyond theoretical description, the successful application of this instrument depends on proper installation practice, environmental control, and strict adherence to international standards, including traceability to international system of units. We hope this overview contributes to a broader understanding of the importance of reference seismometer in advancing seismological research and operation monitoring. Thank you.